What kind of tree is this?
That's a great question. This is a walnut tree, a black walnut. Other plants adapted with these native trees, either for habitat, for food, like for nuts or seeds that come off the tree. The black walnut obviously makes wonderful walnuts that squirrels, turkeys, and deer just love to eat, along with raccoons and possums. What does this become? Turn your camera this way, and it becomes a glorious walnut.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? So, question?
Collect the walnuts when they're done?
You know,
what do you do with them?
We let them go and let the critters take them, and they take them and bury them all over the place. So they really spread them for us. But if somebody requests, like, hey, I'd like to have a little bag of walnuts, we go ahead and let them take them. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about these guys is the smell. Don't you love that?
I love it.
That smell. So I'm going to pass that around, Mr. McElfresh.
Awesome.
So going back to this tree, the persimmons, is that correct?
Persimmon.
Can humans eat the fruit, the fuzzy fruit that grow?
Yes, they're very spicy. So usually they mix them with other fruits to make pies and things. Especially like during the Depression, my grandma used every kind of fruit and plant you could ever imagine to make pies and things like that. Okay. Any other? Yeah. See what they make? They make these little berries, and then they'll turn red. But these things are everywhere.
Oh yeah, they are spicy.
And this is an American beech tree. It's a great tree. It's one of our all-stars here. We're discovering more and more of these. We have several dozen. We're really trying to preserve them because I don't see any beech nuts yet, but they make small nuts, and the animals absolutely love these. So look at this is a really, really nice big mushroom. And it's growing out of a tree that's died. So you're wondering, well, how could something feed on something that's dead? But that's exactly what mushrooms do. This is mushrooms' job in the woods. Everything that dies in the woods has to get broken down or decomposed. You've maybe learned about bacteria in class and different kinds of protists like slime molds and things like that. That's maybe another lesson. But these guys are called mushrooms. They're in kingdom fungi or fungi. You can say it either way. And they live in a relationship with trees. So the fungi grow little root-like projections called mycelia out through the ground around the roots. They decompose things in the ground that the tree uses for nutrients to grow into an adult tree. As the roots down at the bottom provide moisture for the mycelia to grow under the ground, and then they produce a fruiting body like this. And you say, fruiting body, what are you talking about? Well, you know, some mushrooms are edible. This particular one is, but you got to really be careful. Only go with an expert when it comes to those.
I was going to ask if you could eat it.
This particular one, you can. But if you look there on the bottom of a mushroom, you've got all these little holes and folds in there. And that's packed full of millions of spores right there. So as this mushroom dries out, it'll drop its spores. And those spores will go into the ground and they'll make new mushrooms. Okay? You can see there's little ants in there gobbling up on eating spores. It's never ending, people. It's never ending.
Wow, Mr. Grant, you sure are a fun guy.
This, not only does it produce a little red berry that gets eaten and spread, but I just spotted something extremely cool, and I want to take you to it.
Yes.
Big Mr. McElfresh saw it first.
I saw it.
He saw it first, but I don't know if we can. I think we can squeeze through, but just you can just break this stuff off. Just break it off. Please break it off. As a matter of fact, if y'all want to stay later and break things, you can.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was
I'm gonna
litter.
turn around. Wow.
What in the world? Is that a mushroom?
Yeah, sure is.
Wow.
I'm not gonna like move him because he likes to sit still. Yeah, Mrs. Gollenstein launched this into this one right away.
Sorry.
She said it's a mushroom. It's a fungi, isn't it? And it sure is. This is a fungi called a puffball. Now think about this. It's late August. It's been really hot. We've had a couple rains, especially just yesterday. We had a really good rain, had like 3/4 of an inch out here. And so these puffballs are in the ground, okay, and they are ready. They are just absolutely ready to grow out. What the puffball does then is it dries up, and as it dries up, the little spores come out in clouds. I've seen just wind go over top of these, and you can see a little tan to brown cloud of spores come out, and all those spores go out, and they try to be new puffballs. So it's a decomposer. It's on the ground. It's working to decompose all this stuff like this, all this organic matter that gets to the bottom of the woods, where all this stuff is broken down by fungi and bacteria. This is one of the big bosses in our woods in late August, the puffball.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is he helpful to this tree?
Yes, he is. He's in a symbiotic relationship with this species of tree. So the puffballs, the mycelia of the puffball grow out by the roots, near the roots. They break down and decompose materials for the roots that go up into the tree, and then the roots bring in water for the puffball. Yes.
So you said he's a mushroom. Can I eat him?
Yeah, puffballs are edible, especially when they're like this. But no matter what you do with fungi, never eat them unless you're absolutely sure what you're doing. And even if you do eat them, you always cook them. You never eat raw mushrooms out of the woods, okay? Because it could have bacteria in it. So you got to cook mushrooms no matter what. Oh, there you go. Look at that cute. That's a cute.
That's a baby puff.
It's a baby puff, and then there's baby puffs. It is the year of the puffball. I've never seen more than I've seen this year so far. I don't know what it is. Well, we've had all these rains and this super hot temperatures for 3-4 weeks, and the puffballs were just ready to explode. Oh, you got a yellow?
Yeah, got a yellow and brown one.
Way back there.
See it?
Okay, yeah. That's a beauty. You know, when the first time I saw these, I thought somebody was littering.
That's what it
And
looks like. It looks like trash.
I was mad. I thought somebody threw an old basketball back here that didn't work, you know. So now what? This is an old puffball, and let's take a peek at him. What's happened to him, teachers? What's happened to him?
Looks like he's dead.
He's dead. Yeah. So he dried out, and so when mushrooms dry out, they release their spores. See how that's like a sponge? See how spongy that is? Now I don't want to get him out of position, but you see the little stuff. There he goes. You see that cloud right there?
Yeah.
There's a cloud of spores that come out of the puffball. Now I'm not going to touch him again. I want him to do his natural thing from here on this point on. But I didn't hurt him. He's got billions and trillions of spores in there to take off and become new puffballs.
So we've basically seen the life cycle
Yes.
of this puffball in this trail.
You have all except for the mycelium that run under the ground. And you have to use a microscope to see those. They're not like tree roots. They're really super duper tiny. But you can get prepared slides for those and look at them in class.
Cool.
This is a really fantastic tree. It makes the little helicopter spinner things, okay, in the late fall that come off, and those have the seed in them that can sprout up some new sugar maples also. Big time all-stars right here. This one is an American hickory, and it makes these wonderful hickory nuts that the critters just absolutely love. It's a native species, It does really well in Mason County in this part of Kentucky. And so this, and if we look at the bark, you know, it's linear also, but it's nice big wide stripes on it. And it's got that wonderful leaf pattern. See it right there? And we'll look at a big one down
Are
here.
these a part of it or no?
I'm sorry? Yeah, there you go. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little hickory nut. Very well found. That's a butte right there. So squirrels, raccoons, possums, skunks, black bears, not here yet, but black bears absolutely love this kind of stuff like this. Turkeys, a lot of times in the wintertime you'll see scratches in the snow, and people go, well, what are turkeys doing out here? And they're scratching up nuts like these or walnuts and things like that. That's a beauty.
The lawnmower. Yep.
Yeah, the lawnmower got these, but it's not uncommon that deer will come out and stomp them and spread them out, and then deer munch on them. So if we look at the just basic shape of this tree, we see this is an oak tree. This is a shoemard oak, okay? And there's different kinds of oak trees. Oak trees are wonderful because they make those precious little acorns. These are really cool trees, and they're making a great comeback. These are called pawpaw trees, P-A-W, P-A-W. And they make a banana-like fruit that the white-tailed deer absolutely love. Now, this is another fruit that your great-grandma may have used during the Depression or in eastern Kentucky, in places up in the mountains where these things grow. But they're native, and they're really helpful, and the critters absolutely love them, especially white-tailed deer. They taste like bananas. Kind of like bananas. It won't make you go buy any. It'll make you go buy more bananas.